All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're exploring this really powerful modern story, a parable, really, about what it means to be resilient, what sacrifice looks like, and what true strength really is. And this quote right here, man, that single idea is the key to everything we're about to talk about. It's really the heart of the incredible journey of a hero known only as the Traveler. So, where does a story like this even begin? Well, it starts with the traveler living this just impossible existence. He's basically a godlike being living inside a golden furnace. We're talking the actual heart of a yellow sun. I mean, just try to wrap your head around that. For an age, he wasn't a person. He was just a silent heartbeat of light. His entire consciousness was literally woven into the fabric of the star. And this wasn't just some kind of prison, It was his sanctuary. It was the only thing that was protecting him from this deadly lead poisoning that's totally unique to his Daxamite physiology. And this right here, this really shows you the stakes, right? Inside the sun, he's a silent god. He's totally safe from that lead poisoning. But the instant he's outside, the poisoning comes rushing back, and he's just a mortal being. And of course, that fragile piece gets completely shattered when this ancient, super powerful being named Volthum just rips him out of his sanctuary. And why? To harvest his unique energy. So now he's been yanked from the only place he's safe, and he's facing certain death. And if that wasn't bad enough, he's immediately subjected to this incredibly brutal psychological assault. See, Volthum, who you might know as the First Lantern, he wasn't just winging it. He had a plan, a four-step process, really. First, you pull your target from their safe place. Then, you throw them into all these false realities. 3, you break their spirit with illusions that are perfectly tailored to hurt them the most. And then finally, you harvest their unique soul energy. So this wasn't about a simple fight. This was about methodically, completely dismantling the Traveler's will to live. So how does Volthum do it? He uses what the story calls gilded cages. And these aren't just random nightmares, okay? They're these beautiful, warm, comforting lies. He's shown a version of his homeworld, Daxam, at peace, a life where his friends never died. He sees himself as a hero, but with none of the weight, none of the burdens. They were just these perfect illusions, crafted specifically to make him want to give in and stop fighting. Which brings us to the core of it, the choice this slide is all about. Do you choose a beautiful, comforting lie or the cold, painful truth? I mean, what would any of us do in that situation? Well, his answer was definitive. With this incredible surge of pure defiance, he just shatters those mental chains. He chooses truth over comfort, no hesitation. And right there, in that one moment, he proves it. A will that was tempered in the heart of a star is way, way stronger than any shadow Volthum could ever hope to cast. But, breaking free from the illusions, that was just step 1. Because now, the Traveler returns to the real world, and it's a universe in absolute, total chaos. I mean, just look at what he's walking back into. The Green Lantern Corps, the allies he's supposed to have, they're broken. The Guardians, their leaders, they're being purged. And on top of all that, his own invulnerability is starting to fade now that he's away from the yellow sun. But even with all of that stacked against him, he doesn't hesitate for a single second. He just jumps right back into the fight. And this is so important because it really highlights his transformation. He's not the same guy who went into the sun. He's a veteran now. And what does that mean? It means he's not fighting with that raw, almost infinite strength of a god anymore. No, he's fighting with the calculated precision that only comes from real experience and total mastery of his craft. So this whole new mindset, this veteran's approach, it leads to a brand new role for him in the final battle. And it became absolutely critical, but maybe not in the way you'd think. Okay, so as Volthum starts literally warping reality itself, trying to just erase existence, the Traveler becomes this, just one, a single, fixed point of will in this raging sea of emotional chaos. He becomes the unyielding anchor that holds the line for everyone else. You see, his job wasn't to throw the final punch, the big flashy move. No, his purpose was to be the foundation that made victory even possible. He used all that knowledge he had of the emotional spectrum, the very thing that powers the lanterns, to disrupt Volthum. He was creating these constructs that pulse with the intensity of solar flares, literally pushing back against the reality-bending chaos. And in the aftermath, after the war's over and he's just standing there among the ruins,
The traveler has this incredibly profound realization about his entire journey, about everything he's been through.
He finally gets it. His time in the sun, that wasn't a punishment. It was a preparation. His ring wasn't some burden from his past. It was a tool to build a better future. And his mortality, that lead poisoning, it wasn't a weakness. It was the very thing driving him to make every single moment count. He finally understood that his destiny wasn't to be some distant, untouchable god. It was to be a soldier, right there on the front lines. And because of that, he doesn't go back to his golden tomb in the sun. He makes a choice. He chooses to walk among his fellow lanterns, and he flies into the dark as a living testament to this very idea. The truest light is the one that refuses to go out. He's not just the traveler anymore. He's the torchbearer. So, this whole parable of the traveler, it's an amazing hero's journey for sure. But it kind of leaves us with a question for ourselves, doesn't it? It makes you stop and ask, what are the trials in my own life? What are the golden furnaces that have forged my purpose?